Okay, I'm talking to Lorren about Awaken the Goddess Festival because she's going to be having a stall there doing something really wonderful. So, Lorren, would you be able to please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Hi, I am a spiritual medium and intuitive artist, and I basically work with energy. I channel energy. I work primarily with color and vibration and frequency. I believe that color is actually something that is misunderstood and misinterpreted. I suppose it's because I work so much with the medium that I tend to understand it on a much deeper level. So yeah, I just create art, which is really for the soul to relate to in many ways, because the soul has a language of its own, and I believe that the color and the frequency that comes through is something that the soul can easily relate to. So that's what I do. I basically channel art.
Okay, that's
In a nutshell.
So tell me what you're going to be doing on your stall.
Right, so I'm going to be offering aura drawings. So it's a drawing that's done with the person sitting in front of me. So I work with primarily work with pastels, and it's a very simple process. I just pick out the colors that I feel are relative to that person or what's going on in their energy field, and I base my reading around that. So I'm reading their energies, and at the same time I'm picking up all the different colors and frequency in their field, and I'm interpreting that as a drawing, which is an original piece of art that they get to take away with them, which is quite nice, because I find when you go for readings, well, I've been for readings in the past, and you don't really remember a lot of it unless you record it or you write down notes, which sometimes you don't even look at those things. At least with a piece of art, you've got something that you can look back on, something that you can put in a nice frame, put up on the wall, up on a fireplace or whatever, and it becomes your friend. It becomes almost like a tool for you to use either on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, if you want to meditate with it, or if you just simply want to look at something that's going to distract you and take you out of your head, because a lot of us are just all in our minds, and we're not really focused on what's going on internally, and that's one of the reasons why I created the cards, was as a meditation tool, because just by looking at them, I find that a lot of people cut out all the distraction. So that's what. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
When you say cards, what are you talking about?
So I've created my own deck of cards, which I call them soul activation cards. Do you want me to show you?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so that's the box, and that's the back of the box, which is just about me and about the cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flash up some of the images for you to actually have a look at. And what I say to people is, when you look at the images, to just clear your mind and have an open mind, obviously, and just allow what comes. So certain images you'll be drawn to, and other images you might go, I don't really like that. And it's usually the ones that you don't like that, to me, means that there is a bit of a block or an issue there that's come to the surface. And these cards do bring things to the surface. They're quite powerful, actually. So what I'll do is I'll just flash. I don't know if you can see them. I'll just flash some of the images. So they're all very different. And also you will notice that there are no words on the cards. And I also haven't created a guidebook of any sort, because what I got was that you don't need it. I also feel that the guidebooks that you get these days are quite, they can be an effective tool, but I think they're a little bit overrated, because I believe that we all have intuition, and with the images, people are quite easily being able to decipher their own messages from the cards. So just by looking at them, you might get a word, you might get a feeling, something will pop into your consciousness, whatever it may be, and that's what it's meant for you in that moment, because it is going to change from moment to moment. You're not going to see the same thing every single time you look at the card. And I'm not sure if you're seeing anything at the moment whilst I'm flashing them on the screen, but do stop me if something catches your eye or if you feel something.
Oh yeah, there was one that already passed, but it was just something that came up just because it reminded me of, well, it was a feminine shape, shall we say? So it's just something that resonates with me.
Okay.
These are stunning. They are so stunning, Lorren. How long did it take you to do these? These are all from original drawings, is that right?
Yes. So this started about 1.5 years ago when I experienced what I call my awakening,
Yeah.
which occurred in two parts really. So the first part, it was quite interesting. I just happened to go into a spiritual center that was local to me. Because at the time I was looking to open up I was building my own holistic massage practice. And I was being mentored by somebody who was teaching me the massage, and we were looking to do workshops together to do with the massage. And we took ourselves off to the spiritual center to look at their facilities. They roomed hire for us to do these. And we was just talking to the lady, and I felt as if there was someone standing behind me, and they were putting their arm around me, but it actually felt like a wing. So I was touched by an angel, and I didn't know it then, but I know it now, because I couldn't understand why I had left that shop buzzing. Like, I just felt weird, but in a really nice way. And following on from that, we went back to my house, and we were doing a brainstorming session. And she just turned around and looked at me, and she said, "What else can you do besides the massage?" And I looked at her with a blank expression, and I just said, well, I don't know. In the past, I've got an artistic background, and I've also delved into quite a lot of spiritual aspects, for example, shamanism and, healing. I've done Reiki, I've done Rohani, all sorts of things. And I thought, well, what can I do? What can I do? And I just couldn't give her an answer. And that night, I went to bed and just lay down, and I just said, what else can I do? And it was like a light bulb moment. And when the answer, it's like a switch goes on, and the answer just fell from heaven. And then I put two and two together, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is big. And the answer was, why don't you combine the art with the tarot? And I lay there and I thought, wow, that's just such an amazing idea, but how on earth am I going to pull this off? Anyway, I didn't sleep the whole night. I was up, third eye was open. I was getting flashing images, sounds, words, all sorts of things galore. And I was so excited. The next morning I woke up, I was buzzing, as tired as I was. And I called up this centre that we were at a couple of days before, and I said, look, I've got this idea. I really need to come and share it with you. And she said, yes, of course, come and talk to me. And I did. And went along, and she said, yes, it's amazing. Come and do me a reading, and we'll see how it works out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So I went along eventually with my paints and my brushes and my canvas, because back then that's all I knew. That was the only medium I knew how to use, because that's what I did in school and growing up, etc. And I took a really old deck of tarot cards that had been lying in the drawer for about 20 years, and I've not looked at them. And I thought, well, here goes nothing. And I sat down in front of her, got the cards out, the paints, the brushes, and I just said, well, here it goes, here it goes. I just prayed, and I did the reading, and it was as if I'd done it for my whole life.
No way.
Yeah, and out came this image, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is what I've been searching for my whole life. It's like, you go through and I'm thinking, what is my purpose? What am I meant to be doing here? And nothing really makes sense. And I've got this gift and I don't really know what to do with it. I don't know how to express it in the world. And there it was. And it just developed from the painting, and then just spontaneously painting and really developing my style. And then just by sheer accident, I joined a Facebook group, which was a 5-day program, which was an art therapy group. And she just got you to do a meditation, you draw, paint, whatever, post your image in the group. And for some inexplicable reason, I just didn't feel like painting. And something said to me, go get your pastels. And I was like, no, I don't work in pastels. I've never worked in pastels. I had a box lying in the drawer again for I don't know how many years. And I thought, okay, well, here goes nothing. The painting worked, so maybe this will work. And that was really the start of what was the birth, if you like, of the pastel drawings. Because again, out came this image, which I thought, that's interesting. And it had a certain resonance to it. It had a certain feeling to it. I thought, okay, let me put it in the group and see if anyone says anything. And it was as if the floodgates opened and people were responding to my images. They were getting emotional. Some people were crying. Some people had goosebumps. Some people were seeing angels. Some people were seeing dragons. Some people were seeing birds. Everything. And it was like, oh my gosh, I'm on to something, but I don't know what it is. And then eventually over time, I received the instruction, so to speak, to create a deck of cards. And they gave me a number, which was 44. And I thought, oh gosh, 44 images. How am I going to do this? But as the more I got into the drawing, obviously it took time for me to practice it, and because I was channeling as well, to get into that flow of the channeling so that the drawings could just emerge as they were coming, or as the energy was working through me. And yes, in the beginning I could maybe do 1 or 2 at the most. Now 3, 4. If I'm sitting there for the whole day and I'm drawing, depending on how many people I get, or if I'm just sitting at home, depending on how much I need to express, that will determine the number. But I think now, because I've been drawing consistently, I must have well over 100 images now. I've actually lost count. There probably will be another deck. I have already received guidance for the next deck. But it will come when the time is right. But for now, I just want to spread the joy, spread the love of these cards, because they are very, really, as I was saying, really powerful. And to be honest with you, what they do is something that I'm still learning. I'm still integrating it. But what I believe is that it's quite simple. You just look at them and bring them into your life and integrate them into your life that is right for you, because I don't believe that there is a right and a wrong. There's no black and there's no white. Now, these, I think, have been created for the good of, humanity, really. It's to raise our vibration. It's to raise our frequency, and that's what they're doing. And yeah, that's the story around them, which is quite a mouthful, but that's what's happened. And the cards have only been out I've only just had them printed, so they've only been around for maybe 2 weeks. But in that time, I have got them out to various other shows and to my networking groups and just to people I know, and the response has been pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much for sharing that with me. That was so wonderful when you hear a story that just really comes from such a, like, it's such a pure place, and it's lovely to this is why I'm so excited about the festival this year. Last year was good, but this year it just I just feel like the universe has brought all the right people together to this event that are just really doing this amazing work, and it really comes from an authentic place. It's not about people just doing something that they think sounds good and they think matches the audience. It's coming from a place inside, and it's just delivering something that we need, and
well, that's exactly, I mean, you've just summed me up, because I do come from a place of, authenticity. That means a lot to me, because I'm an authentic person. So what you see is what you get, and there's no bells and there's no whistles and there's no fairy lights. And I think that the images speak for themselves, and what I do speaks for itself. It's something that that you just need to experience. You can't really explain it or put it into words. And the readings themselves are just so multi-dimensional. They're so broad, even though they are specific to what that soul needs to express in the moment. It's not about telling people or what's going to happen in a week or a month or a year, because you can't tell people their future. The future hasn't happened yet. We're more concerned about what's happening now. You have the potential to be so much more. We all have the potential to be so much more, and I think that's what the cards are about. It's about making you aware of who you are, what's your purpose in life. You're a light that is shining. Like, where is your magic? Because a lot of people don't even know. So
I love that. Where's your magic? Where's your magic?
Yeah, where's your magic? Because we all just want to sparkle. We all little snippets of this amazing consciousness that is just weaving its way through the world, and being a part of it is amazing, really amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Lorren, thank you so much for talking to me today. I'm really looking forward to actually seeing your cards and getting my own deck on the day.
Oh, brilliant. It'd be awesome. I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too.